It's been 50 years since Robby Krieger lost his pal Jim Morrison, and now he's ready to set the record straight. The Doors guitarist has a new memoir titled Set the Night on Fire, Living, Dying, and Playing Guitar with the Doors, where he shares never-before-told stories about some of the most infamous moments of the group's career. Morrison propelled the Doors to several major hits between 1965 and 1971, including Light My Fire, Hello I Love You, Touch Me, and Riders on the Storm, among others. The frontman said that as a child, he witnessed a car accident on a Native American reservation, an event that loomed large in his lyrics and poetry.
Robby Krieger's memoir was released on October 12. Despite the Doors' success, the band burned out quickly as the singer sank into alcoholism. He made his final album with the Doors, LA Woman, in 1971, and then moved to Paris. There, on July 3, 1971, he was found dead in a bathtub. No autopsy was performed, and accounts of what caused his death are still disputed.
On the 20th anniversary of his death in 1991, the Oliver Stone-directed biopic The Doors was released, starring Val Kilmer as Morrison. Robby Krieger today. Jim Morrison and keyboardist Ray Manzarek, a fellow UCLA film student, founded The Doors in 1965. At the time, Morrison was living in the Los Angeles' bohemian neighborhood of Venice Beach and frequently taking LSD. Guitarist Robby Krieger and drummer John Densmore joined soon after. So I figured, okay, earth, air, fire, and water. The four elements, they're pretty solid. And then I always liked that song by the Stones, Play with Fire. It's a good one. So I started to write about fire, and the rest is history. And you know, up until then, nobody had put those three words together, like my fire, which is pretty crazy. Jim Morrison and The Doors would burn brightly, releasing albums The Doors and Strange Days in 1967, The Soft Parade in 1968, and Morrison Hotel in 1970. But Jim didn't like that. He thought people might take it literally and try to hit him as he was singing it laughs. So we changed it to Touch Me. And, on the chorus part, I kind of stole that from a Joan Baez song. It had the words, I'm gonna love you till the heavens stop the rain. In his memoir, Robby Krieger detailed his rise and struggles as an artist. Well, the producer guy didn't like it. He said, "You'll never play Ed Sullivan again. We don't care, we've already played Ed Sullivan." But the audience had no idea. They made the Stones change one of their songs, Let's Spend the Night Together. They said, let's spend some time together. They caved in. They were about a year before us. So yeah, 67 was a good year. Jim Morrison's mugshot taken on December 10, 1967 in New Haven, Connecticut. He didn't know it was Jim. So the cops started bossing him around, telling him to go get out of here. Then Jim got a little uppity and started mouthing off. And the guy maced him. That doesn't feel good when you get that stuff in your eyes. Luckily somebody came and explained the situation. But Jim was pissed off. Then he finally got the stuff out of his eyes. Then we went on stage. I can't remember if it was the third or fourth song, Backdoor Man. Right in the middle of it, starts to tell the story about the little man with the little blue cap. He was putting the cops down basically. And they're all standing around near the front of the stage, getting madder and madder. Finally, went up on stage. Jim says, "Oh, you got something to say? Here." He hands the guy the mic. I forgot what he said, but they grabbed him, along with the Life magazine photographer who happened to be photographing the whole thing. They grabbed him too and arrested him. Thought it was good because we got our picture in Life magazine. Jim Morrison's dynamic stage presence was on full display during appearances on The Ed Sullivan Show and at the Hollywood Bowl. Robby Krieger said he was happy with Val Kilmer's portrayal of Jim Morrison in the 1991 biopic The Doors, but I think it really helped the Doors' career, and Oliver Stone is a great director. In this case, I think he should have let the writer do his thing because he ended up writing the script himself. He was really into the Doors. He was like a super Doors fan. So I think he got too personally involved. He had this really good writer. I forgot his name, but he should have left it with that guy. Robby Krieger said Jim Morrison had a fascination with death. But I've never seen anybody like him that just tempted fate, tempted death at many turns. Jimi Hendrix wasn't like that. And Janis too. I don't think those guys had a death wish. I don't know. Jim just had this fascination with death. He always wrote about it. So in a way, he probably got what he wanted. Robby Krieger scoffed at conspiracy theories alleging Jim Morrison faked his death. In his book, the guitarist said that the singer wouldn't have been able to stay away from the stage for long. With Jimmy, I got to ride with him on an airplane over to England when we were doing the Isle of Wight festival. We sat next to each other for the whole ride. That was great. I was a big fan of his and I got to pick his brain about guitars and stuff. But all he talked about was getting drugs. It was kind of sad. And I knew it wasn't just pot that he was talking about. He said, "Remember, if I score first, I'll call you. If you score first, you call me." That's what he was talking about the whole time. I just wanted to know about his guitars. Jim Morrison passed away in 1971 at age 27 in Paris. I wish we could have done that with Jim. We did a little one with Jim, just my dad and the other guys. But in those days, they didn't know anything about this type of problem. My dad was really he went to see a shrink. He was into psychiatry, all that stuff. We talked Jim into going to see a psychiatrist. And that lasted about a week. But at least he tried. It was the 60s, everything's cool. You do your thing, man. You just didn't talk to people that way back then. Even though we knew it wasn't helping him. We knew it was bad. But Jim Morrison, he wasn't the type of guy you could reason with, you know. Robby Krieger is still making music today. I'm trying to get somebody to do vinyl on them. The vinyl market is so messed up right now. It's almost a year's wait to get on vinyl. So I'm trying to find somebody that has an in into the vinyl company. But if that doesn't happen, I'll just put them out myself on the internet. Spotify and all that. The Associated Press contributed to this report.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.